Well, hello again. Welcome to, this is an extra special edition of CropLife Retail Week, isn't it?
Special's not the word.
As you can see, we've added the distance between us that we've always wanted anyway.
Social distancing, yes. Paul and I wanted to invent that, but now.
Yes. So here we are, in the Meister bunker. Not really. We're still in Meister Studios proper for another day. This is actually our last day, and we're going to be doing work from home after this, in accordance with recommendations for everybody. We've got a whole plan in place, but we'll plan to continue covering the markets, being accessible. It's like everything you've always loved about CropLife, except we're all at home.
Yeah, good point.
Talking to each other electronically. So this CropLife Retail Week will continue, and will continue sponsored by our friends at UPL.
Mm-hmm.
And we thank UPL for their continued support of this, even through these tough times.
And Paul and I promise, even though we'll probably be dressed in our sweatpants and T-shirts while we're doing the videos going forward, we'll still shave at least, and just get used to me wearing glasses, because that's the only way I can see the screen when it's going to be that close to me on the computer.
I'll have to agree with you. I'll have to disagree with you on both counts. Pants are optional, as well as shaving. So we'll see. But the camera will be from the waist up, so I can't. Then nobody will be offended, I hope.
Yeah. So anyhow, obviously everyone is talking about coronavirus. It is putting a lot of the nation on lockdown. In terms of ag retailers and growers, it sounds like, Paul, some of the impact might not be as severe as you would assume. I know I got an email from our friends at Asmus Farm Supply recently, basically saying that they're taking steps to protect their customers, but that according to them, they have no current seed supply, chemical supply, or crop nutrient, plant nutrition supply issues, for the time being. So basically, they're going to be practicing a little bit of social distancing if needed. If their customers want to pick stuff up remotely from them, that'll be okay. But Paul, based on what they're saying, they planned far enough ahead before all this coronavirus issue started coming to the forefront that they'll be ready for the growing season here in 2020.
Well, it's one of the benefits of having all the risk pushed down to you from the manufacturers, and the way of having to store everything is that you stored everything. So hopefully most of the product is already in place and ready to go for the year, compounded by the fact that last season really left a lot of product in the warehouse. And so there wasn't the supply up issue for a lot of folks. I mean, there's always isolated cases where people are going to have some issues, but I think in general, it's probably as good an outlook from the input standpoint as it can be for most folks.
Yeah, and of course, I'm sure over the next couple of days, weeks, we'll be collecting more information from other ag retailers around the country. I know a lot of folks are working remotely, as we're getting ready to do, but it sounds like at the moment, business is progressing as usual.
Yeah, what's interesting is we're seeing some communications come out, and we're going to be broadcasting this over the weekend on Saturday. But I know on Thursday, this past week, ARA had a virtual gathering of their retailers to talk about steps that they're taking. Some of the initial communications are as you pointed out, the Asmus Farm Supply one is interesting. Also, we're seeing a lot of folks kind of use this as the advocating digital, the value of digital technology and exchange. In fact, you're collecting data and moving it in a way that doesn't incur contact with other people, create social distancing. But there's a lot of value coming out of having that data exchange be automatic. So folks are having those discussions with their growers, which is interesting, via communication and email and discussions and so forth. So that's something maybe to think about is how do you, it's a way to express the value of data exchanging basically wirelessly. So
yeah. So one other thing to mention, Paul, I don't know if you happened to notice, but I know this morning when I was driving to work, I saw that the gasoline price at the station just up the street from where I live was $1.85, which is about as low as I've seen it, and I can't even remember how far back.
Yes, it's amazing.
Same thing for you?
Yes, it's It's been amazing.
And well, the reason I bring that up is, of course, part of this is coronavirus coming into play. The demand for gasoline is dropping. And Paul, as you might have maybe thought, that is going to have a direct impact on ethanol demand, because a lot of the ethanol in the summer is blended with gasoline. I got a report that said that U.S. ethanol producers, at this point, they say that corned beef fuel demand for them has dropped to an 8-year low, and that because of decreased demand for gasoline and ethanol, that they're anticipating that there's going to be significant shutdown or rate cuts coming to the ethanol marketplace in the next couple of weeks. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we go forward as well.
Yeah, it's just a lot of shoes are going to drop. Hopefully we can get back to some sense of normalcy. And it's hard to say what's going to happen with the fuel because that's driven by other stuff.
Right.
The stuff beyond coronavirus. But I think we're all looking forward to that time when we get to some normalcy. And if we can expedite that by isolating ourselves a little bit, then hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, and I'm sure that our viewers, a lot of them probably know this, Paul, but I had just run across it this morning that I guess on March 13th, there was an emergency declaration from President Trump that basically has said that the hours of service regulations are going to be relaxed or removed. So, because basically the nation needs transport and the supply chain to stay as intact as possible. So I know for ag retailers, I know during the spring season when it's basically all hands on deck and incredibly busy, that for 2020 at least, it doesn't sound like the hours of service stipulation that some folks have dealt with in the past will come into play.
Absolutely, those folks will be among the heroes to keep commerce moving.
Amen.
While we're all bunkered down.
Okay, that's all I got.
Well, that's all. So you, like I said, we're playing with formats as to how this is going to work. We are committed to making this work, however. So there will be a retail week continuing for Saturdays to come.
Even if I have to come to your house and go in a bubble.
No, you'll be out in the porch, sir. Okay. So that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
By creating simple, innovative solutions to complex challenges, UPL is providing more choices and a broader range of leading-edge, sustainable solutions for today's growers. As one of the top 5 agricultural solutions companies in the world, UPL has a well-integrated and strong crop technologies portfolio. All stages of the production cycle are included in UPL's portfolio: seed technologies, crop protection including biologicals, plant stress and stimulation products, post-harvest solutions, and soil and water technologies. In many cases, they cater to region-specific needs. While UPL has thousands of agricultural products and technologies designed to help farmers increase yield and grow sustainability, we aren't stopping there. We are committed to Open Ag, our mission to foster new partnerships and collaborations that help overcome challenges in agriculture and throughout the food chain. We believe bringing all the different players in the food system, farmers, packagers, supermarkets, and consumers, together to share ideas will deliver broader choice, greater value, and increased sustainability to the entire agriculture industry and create solutions where everyone wins.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.